Coming to you live, people of Chicago. Why isn't anybody talking about this? Anybody in Chicago right now? You see the amount of people that have all of a sudden are, you know, living in our city. You've seen the traffic. Okay, that's 5 million blocks down the road. You know, it takes you 30 minutes to get 4 or 5 blocks. And then on top of that, people are so upset on the road right now that people are just not even obeying any laws at all, burning straight through red lights, flooring around people. People are getting so mad. And it's even happened to me. I've gotten so mad at this. The traffic in this city is just ridiculous. I mean, I'm hanging on by a freaking string, people. But why isn't anybody talking about this? They keep floating this number. 40,000 migrants have come here. Listen, I don't have a problem with any, people migrating here. Okay? But I do have a problem when it's not correctly, okay? And I'm not saying you're all the fault, okay? Our government is at total fault, 100% at fault. You know, and there's more behind this than meets the eye, and we're finding this out. I mean, for crying out loud, our own president flew in, you know, 500,000 people directly from their country to here. Flew them right in with our tax money. And then flew them all over our entire freaking country to whatever city they wanted to pick. And it's funny how 300,000 of those ended in Florida, which is a DeSantis state, right? Everybody's like Republican there. And he just dumps 300,000 migrants there on top of their communities. So how are you going to tell me, okay? How are you going to tell me? That's just what was flown in, okay? The number that I've heard floating around lately, well, not lately, they still keep saying 10 million. But I heard a senator slip and said, well, she wouldn't slip. She was just, you know, had a moment of, I'm going to be honest and I don't care. She said more like 22 million people, okay? I actually heard that number again the other day, about 20 to 22 million. And it was, you know, a congressional hearing talking about border security. So, now, the next question I ask you is, if that number's correct, and then we're not even counting the people that, right, that we didn't see, you know, there's already, you know, probably 3-4 million gotaways by now. They keep saying 2. They've been saying that number for 3 years now. Funny how it doesn't grow. So, who knows how high that is. And then on top of that, the ones that they just don't even see at all, okay? So now, what are we up to? Like, maybe I'll be kind, right? 22 million. So I'll even be kind. I'll say 26, 27 million. Okay. I really want to say like over 30 million, to tell you the truth. But now, you know, now I'm going back to Chicago here. You know, just like 4, 5, 6 months ago, 30,000, 28,000, 30,000 was the number being thrown out all over the media. 30,000 migrants are here in Chicago. And now it's up to 40,000. So I don't agree with that. I think it's in the millions. Comment below and tell me what you think, if this is true. I'm not believing any of the numbers that they're telling us. 40,000 people? No. Just think of it. When people come across, they know all the sanctuary cities, all of them. Chicago's within that top 3 for sure. Okay, you got New York, LA, Chicago. Those are the top 3 choices. You better believe it. Those are the top 3. So how are you going to tell me that only 40,000, so that's basically what, Sox Stadium? So only, I think it's less, but just think about Sox Stadium. So you mean to tell me that only enough people to fill Sox Stadium only came here to Chicago, when this is the 3rd choice on everybody's mind once they come across the border? This is a big fat freaking lie. They want to keep the numbers so low. And then on top of that, talk about how this is going to be a historic election. And then on top of that, they want to show you that it's, oh, it's so close right now. Biden's still hanging on, even though he's losing, it's still only a couple percentage points, da-da-da-da-da. And then all of a sudden, taking the fact that, oh, there's only 40,000 people in Chicago, so that can't affect anything. But all of a sudden, you throw in the fact that millions of votes could slide in, because a lot of these cities and states, they don't check anything but a driver's license. And they're handing those out, period. It's already been done. They're handing out driver's license, IDs. So, they're voting. Trust me. If you don't think they're going to vote, they'll get a mail-in vote. I promise you they will. They will mail in a vote. Even if they send it in or not. Somebody will send it in on their behalf. Okay? Because obviously, the current administration knows all their names, right? Knows all their information. And I'm sure they got it all saved in a nice big humongous stack. And just getting ready to unleash a fury of mail-in ballots, right? This is crazy, people. Because how are you going to check those mail-in ballots? How are you going to check them? Okay? How are you going to check this name, that name, this name, this name, that name, this name, that name? I mean, the one guy that was in, I can't remember where he was from, but he had 7 different names each time he came across. A different name each time. This is crazy. So now throw in the fact that, somebody could even be voting under the same name, or the same person could even be voting under 2-3 different names. This is crucial. How are we going to counter this, people? How are we going to counter this? I mean, you can have watchdogs at the election box or at the election centers, making sure that the voters are being represented and there's no fishy business going on and whatnot. But when it comes to mail-in ballots, who's receiving those, right? Because I'm pretty sure that whoever's counting the mail-in ballots, the chances of Republican or Trump people being able to be in that process, I'm sure they're going to do everything possible on God's green earth to make sure that there's not going to be one Republican or Trump in there. This is scary, people. We have millions of people in Chicago, not 40,000. Millions, okay? And now throw in the protest. This is looking like BLM all over again. And they even found out that the same people that funded the BLM riots, burning down stuff, all that crazy stuff, are funding this one now. So I'm predicting in the next 6 months Chicago is going to go through something we've never seen before. People are on the edge to the point where they're ready to snap at any given moment. I mean, we're talking about one little argument somewhere, and somebody's had a bad day, a rough week, a rough 4 years, and, who knows where it could go. So, comment below, y'all. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry to be, pessimistic, but, we got to start thinking real here. The traffic in Chicago, how many people are everywhere. We did not just add 40,000. There's millions here, and we know it. Don't lie to ourselves. Tell me what you think, people. And if you can, please subscribe to Conspiracy Truth Paranoia. Shout out to Ford Boss Me. Thank you, brother, for doing what you do. Have a good one, everybody. Love you.